Robert.
Yo, what's shaking AC?
What are you doing?
Just playing air drums, kind of pseudo. There's real drums.
Yeah.
Here at Good Company Productions.
Are you trying to promote Good Company Productions?
I'm always trying to promote.
Promote everything, yeah. Okay, so we're here, we're live, we're in studio with our massive audience of fans here. And we're taking fan mail and questions from the audience. And one of the questions that we got is, hey, we loved your episode on retaining A-player employees. Tell us more.
Yeah.
Right? And so we're going to talk now about some actual tactics that you can use for creating loyalty and fostering retention of employees in a small business. So if you're a franchisee or a small business owner, listen up.
Yes, absolutely. Now, listen, in my opinion, there's tons and tons and tons of stuff you can do to retain employees. I'm going to take off my glasses. And a lot of them are really fun, cool things to do, right? But I think even before you start going down that fun, cool path, you got to focus on some of the fundamentals. And I think one of the fundamentals in terms of tactics for creating this sort of longevity with them is to make sure that they understand that you as their leader isn't sitting up on some glorious ivory tower or pedestal or whatever, getting out onto the floor if you've got a brick and mortar business or whatever, and working directly with the customers, knowing what it's like to be in the trenches. That goes such a long way.
Yeah, you could go on a job site if it's not a brick and mortar business, like a retail or whatever as well. But yeah, I remember that when I was a franchisee, that our staff, when we worked side by side with them, and they could see that we were willing and ready to put in the work as well, and we weren't too good to jump behind the counter and serve customers, anything like that. And it also role models for them, right? It helps kind of role model the standards you're looking for.
Yeah, but hold on, there's even more. Right?
Okay.
There's more.
But wait.
It allows you as a leader to see the things that are going right or wrong so that you can help make the business as well as make their time working there better, right? The whole TV show Undercover Boss came out of that. The bosses were not connected with what was going on the front line, and they had to go undercover to learn really what the problems were.
Yeah, that's a great point. Okay, what else? So
birthdays off. Give them the birthdays off.
Okay.
Go from a 5-day work week to a 4-day work week.
If you can.
Right.
Okay. Let's also just talk a little bit about empowering. I know one of the things that we did, and we talked a little bit about this in the last episode, but we tried as much as possible to empower our employees, even though they were entry-level waged employees and not necessarily educated, they knew the job, but we empowered them to make decisions as much as we could, because then they felt like they were important, they felt valued. We tried to give them that autonomy. We're trying not to breathe down their neck. Yes, we were trying to be there and work side by side at times, but we wanted to show them that we trusted them. Oh my gosh, when you give them a key to the store, or the
I got a key. Hey mom, look.
Yeah, I got the alarm code. Wow, you trust me. That creates loyalty. Also, letting them cash out. That they all wanted to do the cash out, and when, you train them to do that, and it's like you think, oh, that's extra work, but no, they felt important. They felt empowered. So that was a big one.
That touches on one of the 3 things that Daniel Pink talks about in terms of creating drive within a business. You're specifically talking about mastery, the ability to master your craft. If you're somebody that works at a VR arcade, you're not just an attendant. You can open and close a facility and become a master of what you're doing. In addition to, of course, autonomy and purpose.
Yeah, so just to clarify, he's talking about a guy named Daniel Pink who has a book and a theory called Drive. You can look that up after you watch the Ang Rob Rants episode, of course. Now, I remember one time you telling me something about delaying constructive criticism. If you saw an employee do something that you wanted to mention or correct, that you don't do it in the moment. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Thanks for reminding me of that. Okay, so let's say you're on the floor working with staff, and they're mopping, okay, or maybe they're sweeping or whatever, and they maybe missed a spot, and it's really not a big deal, right? Not a big deal to them, it's not a big deal to you, but you'd just like to say, hey, you kind of missed a spot over there, right? And they miss that spot regularly or whatever it is. I find that if you deploy this sort of constructive criticism at the time of the incident, it creates an atmosphere where they may feel that they're constantly being watched. I would rather just keep that, make a mental note, go home, write it down, and then bring it up later in a review, or, hey, it's your quarterly review. Here's all the good stuff you did. Places for improvement. Maybe just be a little bit more diligent when you sweep or mop,
Yeah, or you could, like, the next day or something, maybe be, hey, one thing I noticed, and this, you could say that this happens to all of us, we miss things, whatever, but I've noticed you've been missing this area or something, and bring it up in a way that isn't, it's not in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Also, something that we should talk about is like, you bring them a coffee or like things that you can.
Donuts, gourmet donuts.
Sounds so
that
obvious.
are filled with more than just strawberry jelly, because that's so just mundane. Every donut has strawberry jelly.
So bring them special donuts.
Something interesting like gooseberry.
Anyway, let's just keep this moving. Okay. So, what we did, for us, it was easy because it was a retail food, they could make food. So maybe we give them discounts off the food so that they could eat in the store. They could eat at the back of the store. But you might I think you guys buy pop and stock the fridge with pop for them or something.
Yeah,
Pop, but soda pop.
That came from our staff is always running around. They get thirsty. And so saying, okay, go to the vending machine and buy yourself a drink, or here's a discount card for a drink. Forget it. I'm just going to buy a bunch of stuff, put it in the fridge, help yourselves, Or you're going to come in and play VR in your time off. I'm not going to give you a 30% discount. Just come in and play for free, right? So it doesn't seem almost like you're giving them the leftovers or being greedy and trying to extract some level of revenue from them. You're actually consciously or proactively trying to give them some level of benefit.
Yeah. Another one is being real with people, I would say too. Like, I think it's funny that I see a lot of people think that they have to act a certain way because they're a boss or because they're a leader.
Yeah.
They have to be, more guarded or more professional about things. But when you break down those barriers and people are like I feel really comfortable with my boss, that makes them want to come there come to work.
Yeah, I mean, the relationship between a franchisor and a franchisee is like you're co-CEOs, like you're together building this business. So what is the relationship between a franchisee and their staff? Like you're all going towards the same mission, which is one of the previous episodes. So why don't you both respect each other, be real about what's happening, be transparent, and try to move towards that goal? Yeah,
and have fun with it, and another thing I would say is using humor. Like I feel like if you can inject humor into the culture and
do you know what kind of doctor Dr. Pepper was? A physician.
So you walk around with that joke. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Actually, that's not even bad. That's kind of funny. Like you could just always have a joke and then they're like oh my gosh, like dad joke's here, dad joker is here. But yeah, anything you can do to kind of make it fun and make them realize that like we're all human and we just want to have some fun. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Got any others?
Oh boy, like I said, I was kind of joking earlier, but like easy things like birthdays off, or like we mentioned in one of the prior episodes, flex hours or flex days.
Oh yeah, we didn't really talk about that in this episode. So if people haven't seen the other episode, that's actually a good point. So if you can time off, like built-in time off, like we had an employee who her kids were busy, young teenagers who were at all these activities and things, and she was like, I want to know that I can leave if or like have time where I can go to their, the PTA meetings, the parent-teacher meeting, or I want to be able to go see their graduation or whatever it was, the important things that she wanted to be able to attend. And certain jobs you couldn't do that, but we were able to make that happen.
And it comes full circle. I have a great friend who works for an e-commerce company, and throughout the year, he has a lot of liberty to take time off. But when Black Friday and Cyber Monday come out and it's all hands on deck, he contributes because he's been treated so well throughout the rest of the year.
That's also making me flash back to our stores because Christmas was really busy. Christmas was Christmas. But they knew that. But then throughout the year, when we would, it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like picking your battles, but the opposite of that.
Yeah.
But like, you know, doing what you can when you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Rock on.
Ready to rap? Are you going to play the drums or are we just going to rap?
Maybe, you know what? I might just sit back there with the drums and the guitar and be like a busker.
Oh, okay, great. I can't wait. Okay.
Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Go be awesome.